I don't remember exactly the name of the founders, but more or less, I have read the story of the beginning of Google.
Right. I just learned that there were two young men, Sergey Brin from Russia and Larry Page from the US,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is nice to see a common effort by a Russian and American. I believe that's great. It's just that I didn't imagine that it would be a cooperation between these two people.
yeah, yeah. I think that Sergey was the Russian guy, right?
That's
Con-
correct.
or Larry? I don't remember.
No, no, no. So you're correct. Sergey was a Russian kid, and Larry Page, the American kid.
Mm, that's great.
Yeah, I think that's a great effort. I was Googling about the most interesting projects from entrepreneurs, and I came across a very interesting list. Let me show it to you. This is the one. Let's take a look. What do you see? I'm not sure you're familiar with this guy.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read the key contributions.
Yes, please. Can you?
Mm-hmm. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon, revolutionized e-commerce, and diversified into cloud computing, AWS, media, and space exploration. Blue Origin. The country of origin of Jeff Bezos is United States. His social contributions established the Bezos Earth Fund to combat climate change, supports education through Amazon Future Engineer.
Right. Now, I'd like to ask you, we can modify this list later, but let's make a list from 1 to 10. How impactful is this contribution to society? We can always amend it or fix it. If we make a list from 1 to 10, how important do you think this is to society, to the welfare of the world? 0, I mean, 1 is little, and 10 is a lot. Is a lot, a big contribution.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Um, so this is the research fund climate change. Well, probably I will need to learn more about the organization of Jeff Bezos. But just reading this, probably I will say that it's a good contribution because a part of that he's supporting education, and I consider education is so important. So I will put a 9.
A 9, perfect. Okay, a
Yeah.
9 here. Let's put a 9. All right, that's a 9 in this area. Let's go to the next one then, Mickey, please. And let's see. You know Elon Musk. We've talked about him a number of times. I didn't know he was from South Africa. Well,
Yeah. Hmm.
do you know which country exactly?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly uh, the country, but yeah, I remember that he was from South Africa.
Yeah. One day I was making jokes in the school, and I said that, well, not all African people are so bad. We discriminated them quite a bit. And, well, the fact that Jesus Christ was African, oh, they almost crucified me, man. They almost killed me because they said that Jesus Christ was from Africa. They really, I did it as a joke, of course, like provoking the audience, but that
Yeah,
was
of
too
course.
much. And well, I think at that time, Jerusalem, I don't know, was part of Asia, Africa, or the Northeast. I think the Middle East, right?
Yeah, Middle East.
Yeah, but that kind of was a provocation. But why should a person get angry if they tell you you're from Africa? I mean, what's wrong with that, right? But
Yeah,
well,
yes, he was from the Middle East, right?
he was born in Jerusalem, and
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem, Nazareth, right? And I
Hmm.
believe that is where exactly in the Middle East, or was
Mm,
that part considered part of Africa, or was not?
Well, according to internet, Nazareth is in Israel, so uh, uh, um, Nazareth is. I think
Is
that is
part
Asia, right?
is Asia? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, all right. Just a little comment about origin of people. Yeah, and I'm saying this because I didn't have the slightest idea that Elon Musk was from South Africa. All right, let's read a little bit about him, Mickey, please. Can we?
Yeah. Elon Musk innovated in electric vehicles, Tesla, space exploration, SpaceX, renewable energy, solar city, and technology Neuralink and Starlink.
All right.
Country of origin South Africa and social contributions promotes renewable energy, works on sustainable transportation, aims to make space travel accessible to humanity.
Okay. What do you think of this?
Mm, yeah, well, I think that it's a good social contribution, but I think that it's necessary to analyze to the impact that he's doing. Uh, for example, one time I read that what's the name of lithium? What's the name of this?
Lithium,
Yeah,
lithium.
it is lithium. Yeah, I think that it's lithium,
I
and I
believe
think
so.
that he gets lithium from Africa, and obviously he doesn't pay as well as as necessary. And for example, now he's promoting renewable energy. It is okay, but I think that the affectation that he's doing to other countries doesn't go according to what he's mentioned here.
Right, exactly. When you read the word, the phrase walk the talk, what comes to your mind or what do you understand by this phrase? Walk the talk.
Probably that you must have like concordance between what you say and what you do.
Concordant. Absolutely. With between concordance between what you say and what you do. Absolutely. Absolutely, Mickey. Thank you. Yeah, that is very true. And it's very important to develop the quality that we mentioned the other day, right? To develop trust from people, you need to walk the talk or be concordant between what you say and what you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. Then there is another guy that's very very famous, well known, Bill Gates. Let's see what it says about him, please. First, I'm sorry, Mickey. First, what rate or what grade would you give to this guy, to Elon Musk, on his contribution? How would you rate his contribution
Yeah.
socially?
Well, probably, of course, there are a lot of good contributions, but if I need to put in a scale, I don't consider that at this moment it is so necessary to make space travel accessible. I
Okay,
think that there are other needs to cover. Uh, Probably six.
six. All right.
Yeah.
So that's six. We give him a six. And let's go to Bill Gates then, please.
Mhm. Bill Gates co-founded Microsoft, creating the world's dominant operating system, Windows, and became a global philanthropist through the Gates Foundation. Country of origin, United States. Social contributions, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation tackles global health, education, and poverty issues.
What do you think of this?
Mm, well, I remember that Bill Gates was involved when was the pandemic in the developing of vaccines. You know that there are a lot of theories about vaccines and the pandemic, if it was created or not. But mm, but yeah, I think that poverty issues is something that it is important to cover education too, and so probably I will put a nine too.
A nine two. All right. So his contributions have been significantly positive for uh, for society. Then,
Yeah.
okay, very nice. Thank you, Mickey. So let me just go to there. All right. Then we have another guy from the U.S., which is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. What about him?
Steve Jobs co-founded Apple, leading innovation in personal computers, smartphones, iPhone, music players, iPod, and digital ecosystems App Store. Country of origin United States. His legacy funds education and creativity programs through the Steve Jobs Trust.
That's his social contribution. What do you think about him?
Uh, it is a good contribution, as I mentioned. I think that it's important to focus on education in general. So I don't know how it works, the Steve Jobs Trust program, but I will put an eight. An eight.
An eight
Yeah.
to his contribution. Right. Creativity programs through Steve Jobs Trust. I believe he was responsible for making these softwares for children, for learning math, for learning languages, for learning um, history, with many games. I believe he was part of many games for children. I used to get some of those for my girls when they were little, and they were fun. They were a lot of fun, and also I believe useful, like multiplication tables and this and that. And I think that it's crucial to make education accessible and fun to children. Otherwise, they get demotivated or they get swayed by other activities like all these. Amazing and very flashy designs and developments at the internet and Facebook, Instagram, the TikTok. All these applications are very, I mean, they drag your attention
Yeah.
materially. But if at the same time they were educational, man, that'd be amazing. That'd be awesome. Like for example, I don't know if you ever had this situation with your teachers, Mickey. Did your teachers ever tell you when you were at school, hey guys, put your cells off or put your cell phones on the wall or don't use your cell phones in class? Did they ever tell you that or your classmates in class?
Yeah, but only on exams.
Only during exam. Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, you were able to use them, right?
Yes. Yeah. There wasn't an issue to use the cell phone, and mostly with the artificial intelligence.
Right.
In occasions, they ask us to use the AI to search something or to learn how to use it. Mostly in the. Puedes apagar esta música?
Oh, there's your dad.
Yeah.
Good to see him.
Creo que sí te ve el profe. Te está saludando el profe.
Sí. Hola, mi estimado, ¿cómo estás?
Estimadísimo, saludos, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, bendito Dios, ¿y tú?
Fantástico, aquí con Mickey,
Sí.
hablando de los empresarios más importantes del mundo.
Órale. Warren Buffett.
Buffett, Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs.
Elon Musk. ¿Empresarios o ricos?
No, son empresarios y ricos también.
Muy bien. Felices fiestas, mi estimado.
Igualmente, un abrazo poderoso y nos vemos pronto, mi buen.
Sale, igualmente, bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so we have we're talking about Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs. What do you think about his contributions, Mickey?
Yeah, I consider that he have done good contributions. For example, something that you can do with as a student, if you go to Apple Store, you can receive like an extra discount if you're gonna use it as for the school or I don't know whatever. Could be an iPhone, an iPad, a laptop, and you get a discount just because you are a student. And I have seen other companies doing the same, but I think that it's a support that companies give to students.
Right. Yeah, that is true. That's true. Now, that is a criticism which I don't think is always justified. Sometimes it's excessive.
Hmm.
That these people, multimillionaires, make fortunes, that they make billions and billions and billions, and that they don't contribute enough back to society. Sometimes I believe it is not justified. What do you think about this comment that they usually receive, Mickey?
Yeah, well, I think that, well, I can see it in two different ways, right? One,
Okay.
seeing
Michelle.
as a businessman, as someone who gives jobs. I think that the most important is to give opportunities to other people to develop themselves. In this case, in one of those companies, and in a way to give it to gives them like a better uh, life expectation. And of course, if it is possible to donate or to support uh, different activities that helps people or helps the environment in general, I think that it's okay, but it is not all responsible to businessmen. I think that is responsible to businessmen, but it is responsible to the government, to society in general, to support, uh, yeah, to support society.
Right. People say that one of the responsibilities of government is to regulate companies. If they're going to regulate companies, they could actually increase taxes. That could be a way to force companies to give more to back to society, right? But there are other ways, maybe more friendly, to entice companies to provide to society. What do you think about these other methods, like giving them incentives to open up schools or open up social programs with tax breaks as a consequence of that? Let's say that you are another Steve Jobs, you are another Mark Zuckerberg, and
Yeah.
then the government tells you, okay, Mickey, you are a multi-billionaire, but if you open up a school for a social benefit, we will give you a discount. What do you think about that method or that idea?
Yeah, of course, it's great because instead of just paying taxes, you are doing like other contribution, and if it goes to a school or whatever, I think that is another solution. In a way, makes companies being like more committed with society.
More committed, yes.
Yeah.
That's, that's true. That's true. Very true. Okay. Well, let's take a look then at the next one, which is Warren Buffett. It's what you think
Hmm.
about him. Please.
Yeah. Known as the Oracle of Omaha, built wealth through long-term value-based investing with Berkshire Hathaway. His country origin is United States, and he donated the majority of his fortune to the Gates Foundation and other charities, focusing on health and education.
What do you think about him?
Yeah, I have read about him. There are a lot of famous quotes of him about investing and about investing in long term and not short term. Um, now that I'm reading this, I see that he donates most of his fortune to Gates Foundation. So probably I will put an eight because he's not doing like his own organization, but in a way he's supporting the organization of his friend Bill Gates.
So they're good friends, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Neither did I. But well, you always find something new, right?
Yeah,
Let's take a look at Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, he co-founded Facebook, now Meta, which transformed global communication and social networking. He's from the United States, and through the Shan Zuckerberg Initiative, invests in science, education, and justice reform globally.
What do you think about this initiative? How
Hmm.
impactful is that, socially speaking?
Yeah, I think that it's almost the same with the case of Elon Musk. For example, he's supporting justice reform, but I remember that the last year or 2 years ago he had allegations for the what's the name of this, that he was invading the how was the name of this? Mm. The privacy of people.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I remember.
Espionage.
Exactly.
Espionage.
Yeah, he was doing spionage.
on their own people, apparently, right? On their own people, not only
Hmm.
foreigners but also citizens of the U.S.
Yeah, citizens of the U.S. and of all the world. And well, I always have this in mind, and is that if something is free, it's probably because you are the product. So all those services of Meta, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram are for free. So in a way, we're exchanging something, but the problem is that we don't know what we are exchanging.
Yeah, there is this concept, Mickey, and I'd like to ask you what you think. The
Yeah.
concept of tiptoe, walking on the tip of your toes, like if you are hiding something, right? You are walking tiptoe, you're tiptoeing
Yeah.
in the house, probably because as a kid you were trying to take the cookies from the kitchen, or you were trying to watch a program that your parents maybe told you, Mickey, don't watch that program, it's for adults or whatever, right? So
Hmm.
tiptoeing gives you the impression that you're doing something wrong, that I'm doing something bad or forbidden. But on the other hand, people claim that it's not because it is forbidden, because it is private. I go to the bathroom because I need to use the bathroom. I close the door. I go to my room to sleep because some probably I snore. But that is private. So I have the right to my privacy. There is this controversy. What do you think about that, Mickey?
Yeah, I consider that there are things that um, probably it's not because you want to do it as a secret, but in a way you have this liberty of your privacy and that you can use it as you want. And I think that it is important to respect the boundaries between that and yeah,
Boundaries is a very important concept. Thank you. And I'm glad that you mentioned this because, yeah, we need to establish boundaries in our personal life, right?
exactly. Yeah, I think that the issue is because now in social media you can see everything. Um, for example, I remember in the consulting company, one of the companies that we audit, they have a program. I don't remember exactly the name of the program, but this program analyzes the social media of the workers, mostly the drivers, and and so in so many cases, just with the Facebook, you can see if the person is going to be a good worker or not, and it's because
Wow.
the information that you have on social media is it's huge, and in occasions, I think that it's important to yeah to have things just on private and not publish everything.
Wow, that is an incredible revelation. But yeah, that is true. Sometimes they check your social media, and in some applications, I have seen people who have told me, "Look, I was filling out my job application, and they asked me what my Facebook was, and I said, well, I don't have Facebook. I just have Instagram." I said, "How come you don't have a Facebook?" It's like revealing your secrets, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hmm.
Wow. And do you think that is a little bit invasive?
Well, yeah, in a way. For example, today I created another Gmail because I want to purchase things on the United States and to divide the things that I purchase here in Mexico and the purchases that I do in the United States. And the amount of information that requires to create a new account, it's incredible. You require your number, you require your name. In occasions, you require your address. So yeah, I was just creating another Gmail. So and I'm talking about email. Imagine with Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, that they have the access to your photos, they have the access to your contacts. The amount of information that they have, it's huge. And the
Right.
issue is the usage of that information, right?
That is true. Recently, Mickey, I learned
Mm-hmm.
that there is a way to find out where you took a picture, a photograph, because modern cameras reveal the metadata. Metadata
Okay.
reveal the altitude, the latitude where you took the picture, where you
Mm-hmm.
took the video. So let's say when you made the phone call. So this metadata is incredibly revealing as far as your location at that specific day and time. So, for
Yeah.
example, I think that can work for bad, but for good as well, right? Let's say that something strange happened, right? Let's say that the bad guys said, "Well, we have a friend of yours in captivity. If you want to rescue him, send us some money." I said, "Well, wait a minute. That sounds like an extortion or like a kidnapping. And then, okay, send me an evidence that she is okay or that he is okay. They send you a picture. You can immediately determine the location of these people because the picture has metadata. So I am sure that secret services, experienced secret services, have used this information to reveal and rescue people. What do you think about this?
Yeah, for example, something that comes to my mind is that when you lost or when someone stole your cell phone, if it is not turned off, and or I think that until now, for example, on iPhone, I see that it doesn't matter if it's on charge without battery or just turned off. Um, it's called Findable, the Findable of your cell phone. You can log into your iCloud service in the computer and you can see exactly the location of your cell phone. So in a way, yeah, if that information is available to a normal customer, imagine to the people who works in technology intelligence and unfortunately the bad people too.
Unfortunately, yeah, that is true. That
Yeah.
is, well, yeah, we need to mention that. But well, it's interesting. I just learned about this recently. Let's give Mark Zuckerberg what? What do you want to give him for his initiative invests in science, education, and justice reform globally? What grade do you want to give him?
Mm, six.
A six. It's not very significant, right? Okay.
No.
All right. Let's see these guys from China. Jack Ma. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, I think that Jack Ma is the founder of Alibaba, right?
He is. That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack Ma founded Alibaba, a global leader in e-commerce, cloud computing, and financial technology in China. His country of origin is China. He established the Jack Ma Foundation, focusing on rural education, entrepreneurship, and public health in China.
Right. Public health, education on rural affairs. How important do you think those are now in this time and age? What do you think?
I think that it's so important. Now that I see this case of Jack Ma Foundation, uh, it attracts my attention because he's focusing on rural education. I think that in China in general, I have read a little bit of them and the way how they work, and they support one each other. And I think that one clear example is this that they are focusing on rural education because well we know that China is one of the most developed countries in terms of technology. So in a way, they want to involve more people and yeah, that's good. For example, they're focusing too on entrepreneurship, not only on to work on another company. They're focusing to create new companies, and that's great.
Right. I recently read a chart in one of
Hmm.
the books that I study, and it
Yeah.
struck my mind. It made me, to be honest, it made me a bit angry and
Yeah.
at the same time a bit sad for what it represents. Let me share this with you because I believe it is not fair that we live in a very rich, wealthy country and that we have to be in this situation. I'm sharing this with you in a moment,
Thank you.
and this is the chart. I'd like to discuss it for a moment briefly with you and
Yeah.
see what you
Hmm.
think. Okay, this is a chart that is a poverty indicator and social scarcity per city and total population in the state of Guanajuato. Right. So it gives you the first column gives you the total population, gives you the city, the poverty index, which is in percentage, the extreme poverty, um, the lagging in education, health, social security, quality and space of your shelter,
Hmm.
basic services, and food and alimentation. Right? How well people eat, and look at the ratings generally. What do you think about this table? What do you make of this table, Mickey? It's 2020. It's more or less recent, 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably we are worse than in 2020. Um, wow. Yeah, one time I read that Leon, it's supposed that is the city with more poverty in all Mexico. I don't know exactly how the charts works, because I imagine that they divide the total population and they divide certain terms, but yeah, it attracts my attention and makes me think about it because, well, for example, you go to Leon and you see all those big malls, clean areas, but probably there are something above that that in occasions we are not aware. And, and yeah, and it's surprising because, well, we know that here in Guanajuato is it's a state that has a lot of industry, but probably not. It doesn't mean that industry pays well. So yeah, it surprised me to Dolores Hidalgo that it has 53.1 in poverty and 9.9 in extreme poverty.
Yeah, 1 out of 10, from 10 people, one is in very, very precarious conditions, basically barely surviving. And look at health, social security, which they are correlated more or less, I think. Well, not necessarily, but they think they're correlated.
Yeah,
Quality of space and shelter, and poverty is one of the worst municipalities, I think. Right?
yeah, it is. Mhm.
And I was doing this because I was looking for Pénjamo, really, which is the city of interest, because
Yeah,
of the study that I'm doing in the doctoral degree. And when looking for Pénjamo, I found that they were 51%. There were 51% people in poverty, which is very high. Is 1 out of 2 is poor. 1 out of 2 is poor. So I make this, which may be painful for people just to think it vividly in their minds. It's like if I think in my house, we were 7 people, my parents and 5 brothers. Imagine that they say, How are you doing in your house?" Well, we're doing okay because 3.5 members of the family are living in poverty. I say, how come 3.5 people in your house are in poverty 50%, right? I say, that that cannot be. In other words, if my brother is hungry, well, here, eat. Or if I'm hungry, my mother or my brother or my father is going to say, well, how come you have not eaten? Eat, right? I mean, you don't let your brother starve, would you?
yeah,
Of course not, right?
no, yeah,
But we do that in the city. We do that, and it's nobody's fault. I mean, I say nobody's fault is we. This is the numbers, and that made me a little bit sad and angry. And I said, frustration, a little bit frustrated. I was a little bit frustrated by reading this chart, particularly because in Leon, look at Leon. What do you see in Leon, Mickey, in general terms?
yeah. You can see the massive concerts, for example, in the fair, that they have international artists instead of really focusing on what is important. For example, in this fair, I have seen that Checo Perez, Rina Williams, a lot of famous people is gonna come to the fair. Or if
Right.
you think around, you can think in the what's the name, balloon festival that they do in the Parque Metropolitano. You can think
Right.
in all those massive events, but what is above of that, right? What is most important, the concerts or really focus on the poverty that Leon has? And it surprised me the amount of people, almost 2 million people. Irapuato just have 600,000.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that is true. So 1.7 million. Leon is more populated than Guadalajara and than Monterrey. They,
It's more
in
populated than
total,
Guadalajara.
because they are a metropolis, they have more cities together, joined
Hmm.
together. Guadalajara has Zapopan, Tonalá, I think
Yeah.
Tlaquepaque, other cities. Monterrey, the same with Garza Garcia, with Guadalupe, Escobedo, etc., right?
Hmm.
So to all together, Monterrey has more people. I mean, the metropolis has more population, but individually
But
speaking,
it's City of Monterrey. Yeah.
yeah, is more populated. Leon is more populated. The second city, the third city in the country, Mexico City, Tijuana, and then Leon, individually speaking.
Wow.
But
I
the
don't know
high
about.
rates of poverty, health, which is 26%, and 29% in alimentation, right? How you feed your people. I believe it's very high. And well, the Irapuato is not very far behind. Eh?
No.
We're there 20.5%, which is also a number that will not make people proud that say, oh, I'm very proud because we have 20% lacking in good feeding, right?
Yeah, of course. And the issue is that we're talking about alimentation. We're not talking about shelter. We're not talking about health, education. We're talking on the basic need that is just alimentation. And know that, for example, in León or in Apuato is above 20. To be honest, I
Yeah,
didn't know that. Yeah.
yeah, 20%. Yeah, so well, that's something to think about because we were reading the statistics here about this gentleman, the Chinese guys, the Chinese. You mentioned this, and this is very important. Your comment is very important. They're focusing on rural areas, rural education. Why? Why do you think they're focusing on rural education? Is it not to produce more food, or what do you think they are focusing in that field, Mickey?
Could you repeat it, teacher?
Yeah. Why would the Chinese be focusing on rural education? If they are focusing on rural education, what would the reason be? What do you think? Why do you think they want to focus on rural education in China?
Because they want to grow, but in together. Not only the most developed cities, not only the cities with more technology. They're focusing on people on rural places, and I think that it's so important, and it's something that all countries must do.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's that is there where you produce the food, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it is important. Well, it's very interesting because of the situation that we're and Guanajuato is one of the best states in the country. I don't think that I'm taking a
No.
bad stand on the state. Just
No.
imagine places like Chiapas, Oaxaca, Guerrero. Oh no, man.
Hmm. Yeah,
I don't even,
that's what I'm thinking exactly. That in Guanajuato we are okay. I'm not saying that perfect, but we are okay. Imagine other states that as Chiapas, as Oaxaca, so many. It's a huge problem.
right. Yeah, exactly. So I believe that from time to time it's good to come out of the bubble, including myself. I'm not criticizing people in general. I say I need to come out of the bubble sometimes, take a look at other people and see what we can do to help them. I mean, just like you would help, I would help my brother if he says, "Oh, brother, I have not eaten in 2 days." Oh, come on, open the fridge, get whatever you want, right? The thing is that we're not used to seeing other people as our brothers or as family. We see them like distant. I believe that's my personal opinion.
No, it
So
is
that's
true.
why we don't help each other because we don't see them. We don't see them as a family, right?
In occasions as equals.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Well, and look, Mickey, I don't know what you think about this. The other day, yesterday, my mom was saying a very interesting phrase. She said, people very often criticize the religion and some religions, but in reality, they have contributed a lot to help people, giving them food, clothing, medicines, materials to build their houses. And I remember the Jesuits in Instituto Lux in Leon, they used to do that. So I think we need to give more credit to the church because they have contributed dramatically to the welfare or to the better well-being of society. What do you think about that, Mickey?
Yeah, of course. As you mentioned, occasions people criticize church in general for all the issues that have happened, but I have this idea on my mind, and it's that there are good organizations, and probably in both there are good and bad people, but at the end, if they are doing something positive, I think that it's okay to recognize it
Yeah.
and yeah, not only criticize they can do this. We need to, in occasions, being more reflexive, and see what can we do too. Not only the big corporations. In occasions, little changes make big results.
Yeah, that is true. That's a great comment. Little changes make big results. That's a great sentence. Well, let's see what you give to Jack Ma.
Jack Ma, I would like to read more about it, to the Jack Ma Foundation, but until now I would say that it's the better one, probably 10.
Probably a 10. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Then we have the next one. It's a guy from India.
Mm-hmm.
Let's read about him, please.
Mukesh Ambani expanded Reliance Industries into telecom, geo, retail, and energy, making it a powerhouse in India. Base of origin India, donates to healthcare and disaster relief, launched programs to support education and rural development.
Yeah. I didn't even know this name. That's a
No, me neither.
totally new name for me.
Yeah.
Shambani. What else do you know about him? Like telecom, GIO, retail. Where else can you make him more visible, Mickey? Because I didn't know about him anything really.
Yeah, to be honest, me neither. But something that attracts my attention is that, well, China and India are, I think that the two countries with more population, and both are focusing on education and rural development. So they are doing something good. Something good.
Yeah, that's a good comment. That's a good point. Yes, yes, yes. Because they have populations over a million or over 1 billion people each,
Billion.
no?
Yeah.
What's the population of India now? You
I
know?
think that India now is more populated than China.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really impressive. Well, at least they're taking good measures to revert, not revert that, but to alleviate that situation a little.
Yeah, of course, because, well, the amount of people in those countries, they must be prepared to be in a way like, how can I say this? Um, Competitive in the market, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's good that they are developing new skills and that they are supporting the education in the different areas. It's something good, I think.
Right. Let's give me a rate, please, Mickey.
Mm, 9.
9. Okay. Let's give me a
Yeah.
9. And then we have Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Let's read about him, please, if we can.
Yeah. Larry Page and Sergey Brin co-founded Google, revolutionized internet search, and developed major platforms like YouTube, Android, and Google Ads. Larry is from the United States and Sergey is from Russia. Uh, they do Google.org funds projects in renewable energy, internet accessibility, and public health worldwide. Yeah. Mm,
And yes, Mickey. What I wanted before you give your grade, I wanted to ask you how important has Google been for you in the last 5 or 10 years in your instruction, in your general instruction, academic instruction, or general knowledge instruction? How important has it been for you?
yeah, well, to be honest, Google has been part of my education too.
Yeah.
On the master degree, we use a platform of Google to upload the homeworks, to see the activities. Uh, platform is from
Right.
Google, and there are a lot of new apps that Google has developed that it is includes in your Gmail account as Google Meet, Google, like the Excel of Google, Google Sheets, I think that's called.
I believe so. Yes, Google
Yeah,
Sheets.
Google Documents, Google Drive. There are a lot of Google Maps of apps that Google has developed.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, in terms of technology and to make things much easier to people, I think that they have done a good work. To be honest, I don't know nothing about the projects of in renewable energy as you mentioned, but yeah, it's okay.
Okay, yeah, they're great, right? For me too. For me too. I've found books that otherwise would have taken a lifetime to find them, thanks to Google. So, personally speaking, I'm very grateful to Google, and I believe they have made a huge contribution to society in general because they have made knowledge more accessible to everyone, to everyone. That so. But well, that's my personal opinion. So, what would you give them as a grade, their social contribution, Mickey?
Probably an 8.
Probably an 8, right? Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Then we have this lady, which I didn't know that she was among the richest and wealthiest person in the world, Oprah Winfrey. What do you think about her, and what have you heard about her?
Oprah Winfrey built a multimedia empire through her talk show, Harper Production, and investments in television, film, and publishing. She is from the United States, and she invests in education to the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for girls in South Africa, supports mental health initiatives.
Right. One of my brothers sent me a meme. I think it was her. How old is she now, Mickey? You think
How
60s?
old?
How old is Oprah Winfrey, more or less?
65, probably? I don't know.
Yeah, so it's her. I think it's her. Yeah, he sent me a meme that says, "Well, it's really good to be 65, and then in particular if you have 65 billion dollars."
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So, what do you think about what she has done?
Well, to be honest, I think that I need to read more about her. I know that she had her show on television, and that she was very famous and well known as interviewer and as a host show. But I don't know. I have seen other theories about her and about it. Probably she wasn't as good as internet things that she was. So I don't know. And something that comes to mind too is that probably it is not mandatory that a businessman, a business girl in this case, a business woman, uh, donate her money, right? Obviously, if it is possible and if you want to do it, it's okay, but it is not something mandatory. Um, it is important that she's supporting mental health. We have seen so many cases, unfortunately, that people uh, commit suicide because they have mental health issues. So, in a way, I think that it's important that she's focusing on that too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, the issue of including these people in social contributions, yeah, as you correctly pointed out, it is not mandatory for them, but it looks positive. It looks nice that you share a little bit of what is in excess, right? Because apparently their businesses have been excessively good, profitable, but then you have a vast fortune. What do we do with it? We don't take it to the tomb with us, right? We don't take it to heaven or to wherever people think they go. I believe in heaven, but they don't take it to heaven. So it looks nice, I think, to be able to share this with many people who are in poverty in the world. Don't you agree, Mickey? What do you think about that?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Now I'm remembering one quote. Let me search it to show you, and it's something similar to what you mentioned. Let me remember that. Mm,
This quote is from Oprah Winfrey.
no, no, it is from. Well, it was related to what you mentioned, and I remember exactly how was the quote, but in terms, it was like it doesn't matter if you have $1 million or $0, because at the end you don't know if you're gonna be here tomorrow. So, in occasions, we think in long term, in terms of money, that we want to do this, we want to travel there, and but the reality is that we don't know if we're gonna be here tomorrow. So I think that in occasions it is important to have this, uh, how can I say, like sharing feeling, to share what you have in excess, and because you don't know if you're gonna enjoy it tomorrow. I think.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. At the end, we will not take anything beyond with us, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
important to to enjoy all we have here, or if we would prefer, if we choose to leave a legacy to our descendants, sons, grandchildren, etc. It's also valid that we want to make their life a bit easier if we choose to do so, right?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
All right. Well, what would you give her as a rating, Mickey?
Probably 7.
Probably a seven. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go now to a guy from the United Kingdom, Richard
Mhm.
Branson.
Yeah.
What do you know about this? What do you know about him?
Yeah. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Thank you. Richard Branson. He founded the Virgin Group, diversifying into music, aviation, telecommunications, and space tourism. Mm. He's from United Kingdom, and he promotes social entrepreneurship through Virgin Unit, focusing on climate change and global inequality.
Yeah, what do you think? Uh, I didn't know
Yeah,
about him anything. I didn't know him.
well, I know about the Virgin Group. I think
You
that,
do?
yeah, I think that now here in Mexico you can have your ship from this company, and I knew first this company because I think that they have massive radio stations around the world. I didn't know about the space tourism. I think that is something that is becoming more popular. Uh, about his contributions on social entrepreneurship and climate change and global inequality. It looks nice, to be honest. I need to read more about it to see if it is really true or not. But yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes we think that we contribute to climate change because we wrote an article or we had an interview and we say, well, we need to plant more trees. Well, that's my contribution to the world, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, sometimes we don't know the scope or to what extent the contribution makes a serious, real impact.
Yeah, something that comes to my mind. There's a brand. It's a popular brand of sneakers. I don't know if you have seen those sneakers with a V. It's like this. This is the logo. It's called Beja.
Oh, okay, all right.
And well, this is a French company, but the production facilities are around Brazil, and it's supposed that they support the reforestation on the different parts of Brazil. And something that I have read more. I was reading more about it because it looks my attention. It was like, okay, it's a good initiative, and now this brand shoes is so popular. But something that I realized is that the owner has uh, how would say, like a shopper company of trees. So it was like, oh my god, you are supporting to reforest, and at the same time you have a company that shopped trees in Brazil. So I think that
Really?
you like to walk and talk, right?
Yes. Chopping trees down. Wow,
Yeah.
that's awful. I didn't know.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, walk the talk. Yeah, walk the talk, which is easy to say, not always easy to do, right?
To do, right?
Let's convince businessmen, let's convince people to do more for the society. And then I start thinking about myself, what am I doing myself, right? Well, I'm writing some articles, some comments in Facebook, that's it. And say, I need to do more. Well, that's a beginning. At least we have the good intention and we have the idea of expanding our service to the communities little by little. But
Yeah, of course. And most now that I have seen this like green marketing, for example, Coca-Cola. That do you remember the campaign that they do with the water bottles that you can like in a way roll it, and because the plastic was like um, in a way easy to how's the name of this?
Dispose.
Yeah, to dispose. And it's okay, it's a good initiative, but well, the amount of water usage that Coca-Cola uses is something unbelievable. So walk and talk, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's very true. That's very true. My younger brother, he's incredibly smart, not because he's my brother, but he's very bright. He makes studies and articles and research about water policies in the world. He's given a couple of lessons in the Sorbonne in France. He's very, very smart.
He's
And I
great.
haven't seen him drink his last Coke. I told him the other day, look, you're talking about water all over the world, this and this, and that, and you're still drinking Coke, this little Coke. But yeah, but it has no sugar. It's not about your health. It's about company, right? Well, he blushed, he
The
turned red.
yeah, of
But
course.
well, okay. So let's give him a rate, and then maybe we go to the Russian guy that I'm
Probably a
curious.
7.
7. All right. Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's skip this for a moment. Arnaud. Amancio Ortega is a guy from Spain, and I've heard about him. Let's read about him. Amancio Ortega, please. Can we, Mickey?
Yeah, Mancio Ortega. He co-founded Zara, the group Inditex, innovating fast fashion with efficient supply chain and customer-driven product cycles. He's from Spain, and he donates extensively to healthcare, including funding cancer treatments, center, and equipment in Spain.
Right. He's a very famous guy in Spain and all over the world.
Yeah.
Sara, which is even in Mexico, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, how do these guys build their fortune? It's incredible how they can have so much power all over the world, so much presence. What do you think makes them do that, Mickey? In general sense, all these businessmen, all these people, they have built empires in the world.
Yeah.
How do
Well,
they do
probably
it?
like that hunger feeling to do something different or to innovate. Well, for example, this the case of this person. I know that the group Inditex has a lot of fashion brands. Zara, I think that Pull&Bear, Massimo Dutti, Stradivarius, so many companies of fast fashion. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of those companies because the one of them is the quality of the products that
Oh, okay. It's not
it,
very high quality.
no, and in occasions it is not very cheap too. So um, I think that must be according, right? If you're gonna pay something that is not cheap, okay, you must receive a better quality. And a part of that, the what's the name of this? The amount of water usage that fashion industry use, and the how was the name of this? I forgot it. Mm, yeah, well, the amount of trash that is generated by this industry.
Really, I didn't know about that. This is important to know.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of the industries that, well, obviously there exists the car industry that we know the water usage that car industry requires, but the fashion industry requires a lot of water. And the issue is that they are launching models and models and models of new products. I don't know how many colors of blouses. I don't know how many colors of jeans. The quality is not good, so you need to buy another. And now it's another season. Now it's winter season. Now it's so they have a good amount of uh, of clothing in general, and the amount of I forgot it. Teacher, how do you say contamination? How is possible that I forgot?
Pollution,
Yeah,
pollution.
pollution. Yeah, sorry. It's because I haven't taken my breakfast.
Okay, well, I'll probably be fixing it ready for and be ready for you very shortly.
Yeah.
And I need to do the same. Believe me, I need to. normally I cook myself here in my apartment, but also sometimes I go visit my mom or I visit my girlfriend, and then I have
Hmm.
breakfast with them. And but I'm learning how to cook, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I have many good recipes now. So, uh, okay, Mickey. Well, let's leave it here. Just a very quick comment about Roman Abramovich. I know he had oh, here it says he had the Chelsea,
Oh,
another.
really?
Yeah, but he was the owner. I think he already sold it, Roman
Hmm.
Abramovich.
Uh-huh.
But he was in oil. I knew about oil. I didn't know about aluminum and steel industry. I didn't know about the other ones.
Hmm.
But he purchased the Chelsea, then he sold it recently. Roman Abramovich, a guy from Russia, incredibly rich and wealthy. And I didn't know that he funded projects in welfare, like it says here, funded social welfare.
Arts and education projects in Russia. Wow. I didn't know about him. Yeah, I knew that in the past a Russian guy was the owner of Chelsea, but I didn't know the industries in he was involved. Oh, he is
Imagine
involved.
all the oil that Russia has. He's a multimillionaire because of
Yeah.
oil.
Hmm.
I only didn't know about aluminum and steel, but well, one thing brings the other, right?
Yeah, are related.
They are related, exactly, exactly. They like under the same umbrella, oil, aluminum, and steel.
Yeah. Wow.
But the good thing is that he supported Cardiff relief efforts, which is a good thing.
Yeah, well, I think that Russia was one of the first countries to develop the COVID vaccine. What's the name of that? Oh, the Russian vaccine?
That was had a
Sputnik.
name, Sputnik.
Yeah, I think it was Sputnik, correct?
Sputnik, yeah, like the rocket they launched to the moon or to the
Yeah,
space
Sputnik.
first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is good to know that people get together to contribute to many things, and
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay, Mickey. Well, I better let you go have your lunch. I'm gonna have my own lunch as well, and
Thank you. Sure.
we probably we if there is time, we have another session maybe towards Thursday or Friday if you have time.
Yes, sure. If you wish, you can send me a message as today, and yeah, we can do it.
Okay, very good, Mickey. Have a Merry Christmas and wonderful end of the year, all you and all your family. And I think we see you on Thursday or Friday, Mickey. Okay.
Yes, teacher, you too. Thank you for your time as always, and have a Merry Christmas too.
Okay. Thank you. Take care, Mickey. See
Take
you
care,
soon.
teacher. Enjoy your
Bye
week.
bye now. You
Take care.
too. Night.